just ticks by and you're just sitting here not doing anything, and you get really frustrated with other people because their life is going perfectly. Like they're driving their car, they're living their best life, and you're just sitting here not doing anything. And then you wonder why you're having the results that you're having when they keep moving up there in their career and they keep doing everything right, it looks like from the outside. Social media is very deceiving because you think their life is perfect from the outside, from what you see, but you don't know all the details. You don't know all the details behind the scenes. So their life might look really glamorous and perfect from the outside, but they're struggling on the inside, but they don't want to talk about their struggle because they're worried that people are going to judge them. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really care what your struggle is. It matters where you get, where you succeed, where you get where you're supposed to go. So it doesn't matter how many bumps in the road you get before you get there. Because sometimes things take time, and you're just like, okay, what's going on? Like, nothing's changing. But there's so much changing that you're not seeing behind the scenes. Things are upgrading, things are moving, things are getting recalibrated, but you're not seeing it in the moment. So you're like, okay, it's not working because if I'm not seeing it in the moment, then it's not going to happen. But that's not always true because when you go to a factory and you see how they build the vehicle, it's not just put together in one day. It takes months, maybe even years. Depends on what kind of car it is. It could take a whole year to build that car. But if you're not seeing all the intricate details of how it's made, then you're like, it's so slow. But things take time. Things take time to grow. Things take time to develop. And you know that it's all going to work out. So you're not really worried about it. But you have your moments where you're like, what am I doing? Like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, I'm not where I want to be. I'm not where I'm supposed to be either. But if you look back and you think about everything you've done, it's got you to where you are right now. All the hard times, all the good times, all the bad times, and everything in the middle. So it just makes you think, like, okay, so I had to go through all this struggle for a reason. I had to go through all this for a reason. I don't like it, but I don't have to like it. I just went through it. And now I can look back and say, hey, what's your question? Because you can sit and complain about things because you're like, it's going so slow. Thanks. It's going so slow. Why is it happening this way? But if you look at the whole outcome, then you realize that it's going the speed that it needs to go. You just feel like you're on the sidelines of what's going on, but you're not, because there's things happening that you're not in the middle of every moment. Like, you're not manufacturing every moment, you're not working every moment, you're not sleeping every moment, you're not working every moment. So sometimes you're sitting, you have idle time, and your mind's going like, what's going on? But things are happening. You can see little indications of what's going on. What's happening? Life. It's January, almost January 5th. And then soon it's going to be January 25th, and then where'd the month go? And then it's going to be February 25th, and where'd the month go? That's what I think was crazy about last year, is like, it was the first of the month, and then like the day went by, and it was like the end of the month. It went by so fast. So sometimes you're just like, okay, like, I go to work every day. Like, what am I ultimately working for? Like, am I getting what I want at the end of the day? Because everybody wants something different. Not everybody wants the same thing. Some people want fast cars. Some people want lots of money. Some people want travel. Some people want to not worry about anything. And sometimes you get to a point where none of that stuff really matters. Like, who cares if you have $1 million car, you have $100 car? Or who cares if you have money, or who cares if you don't have money? It's your perspective. And then you get people that are just jealous because they have everything, but they're not happy. And then you got people that are happy and they have nothing. So it's just your perspective on everything. Somebody's always going to hate you. Somebody's always going to disagree with you. Somebody's always going to get mad and say something. But at the end of the day, if you know that you're doing what is ethical and what is right, it really doesn't matter what other people think. Because you want to get to that goal of, you want to succeed. So whatever that means for you. Some people want to succeed and make millions of dollars, and then they get to the point where they made millions of dollars, and they're like, what's the purpose of my life? Like, what did I succeed? What did I achieve? Like, I have $4 million in my garage, and I have a $10 million house, and I have a fridge full of food, but I don't have a wife. I don't have kids, but I have all this wealth. And then you have some people that have all the money, and they have all the wives, and they have all the kids, but they're still not happy. So they have a $20 million house and $10 million worth of cars in the garage, and they have 4 girlfriends from 4 different countries with kids. And they're like, sitting in their armchair thinking, like, what's my life all about? Like, I have a fancy car that costs $2 million that I can drive every day, and I can eat expensive caviar, and I have a Japanese wife and a Korean wife and a Mexican wife and a Vietnamese wife, but I'm not happy. So at the end of the day, having millions or billions of dollars, are you happy? And that's what you got to figure out within yourself. Like, somebody can't make you feel happy. Somebody can't stir you to have certain feelings on certain things. If you're not satisfied with nothing, then you won't be satisfied with everything. And that's what some people chase their whole lives. Things. If I get more things, I'll be happy. If I get that fancy new outfit, I'll be happy. If I get that fancy new car that Ford is making, I'll be happy. But you buy that brand new car, 5 years go by, it's not a brand new car anymore. It's has 100,000 miles on it, and it's leaking oil everywhere. So is it still worth it? Would you pay the $150,000 you paid for that car, and now it's only worth half that because it depreciates in value? And you have to keep dumping money into it so it keeps running because it's at 200,000 miles because you've driven it so much. So it's all about your perception on what you want. Because one person will be like, yeah, I got $1 million car, but I hardly drive it. It sits in my garage more than I drive it. Or you got somebody that got a $5,000 car and they love it. They spend every moment they can driving it. So when you die and it's your last time on this planet, and you're like, okay, what did I achieve? Like, over my whole life, what did I achieve? Did I get what I wanted to do? Because cars will come and go. Even your family will come and go. So at the end of the day, like, what makes you rise up in the morning and say, hey, I'm going to conquer the day, or I'm going to rise to the occasion of what I need to do? And that's what you need to take home, is realize that when it's your last breath, so whatever your age is, let's say you're 92 years old. You're 92 years old and you have $100 million business, and you have an airplane that's worth $10 million, and you have a house in Miami, and you have a house in Florida, and you have a house in New York, and you have a house in Paris, and you have a house in Germany, and you have a house in Switzerland, and you're 91 years old and you have no kids. Does it really matter? Or when you're that old, let's say you're 100 years old, and you have all those things and you have kids, and you can will it to your kids. But are they going to be good stewards of it because you taught them how to appreciate the little things? Because anybody can make $1 million. But if you don't appreciate having nothing to getting up to the $1 million, is it going to ultimately matter? Because you can make $1 million and you can make it in 24 hours and you can lose it in 24 hours. So are you going to hold on to your values, or are you going to change your values? And there's a lot of people in this world that jeopardizes their values and their morals to make a quick buck. But are they happy? Because there's lots of people that are millionaires. There's so many social media outlets that you can do a couple things and make $1 million or make 5 million bucks. But my question to you, when you're 90 years old, are you going to be happy? That's the trick. Or when you're 100 years old, are you happy because of your choices? And some people would be very happy with their choices because they have no moral obligation. They don't care. They just, whatever. I don't care. It doesn't really matter what other people think. I just live my life in the moment and I just do whatever I want and I just say whatever I want and there's no ramifications of what I have to do. Like, I'm not going to take accountability. So, when you take your last breath, is it worth it? Because most people will chase things and think, okay, so I just bought a Ferrari. I'm cool. I'm going to post it on Instagram. Maybe I'll go to a different country and drive my Ferrari and get a bunch of girls or something. And look at me, I'm on top of the world. But if you're not ultimately happy with yourself, internally happy with yourself, because you can put on a show for other people, but if you're not happy with who you are internally, the money doesn't matter, the girls don't matter, that stuff doesn't really matter, because you're going to chase your whole life getting it, and then when you got it, you're like, whatever. I made 100 grand in one day. I made 500 grand in 2 days. Like, who cares? I bought a Ferrari. I drove it for 8 hours and I sold it. Like, some things you can experience, but you can't buy them. So you can go experience that Ferrari for 8 hours and enjoy every moment of it. But what's worth it? The experience or the money? Because you can go do a lot of things with no money, but you can have a lot of fun. So you have to figure out what the purpose of it is. And some people really want to be famous, like they'll do whatever it takes to be famous. And some people that are famous are like, whatever, I don't even care if I'm famous. Because some people are famous and it doesn't even change the dynamic of who they are. They're still going to be the same kind, sweet, heart-warming person that they are. Like, they're not going to change. And some people are so rich and wealthy and they're just the meanest people in the world. And you're like, what's that about? So, and it really doesn't matter what I say or what I think, because at the end of the day, it's what you think and what you believe is what's gonna hold you accountable to whatever you want. But I just challenge you to try something different or do something different or just try to be kind to people. And some people are not capable of being kind, and that's okay. That's if they want to not be kind to others and they just want to be who they are, that's okay. But at some point, somebody's going to get fed up with them, do something rash. So even the kindest person in the whole world can snap and do something. So at the end of the day or at the end of your life and you look back at everything that you accomplished, did you accomplish everything that you wanted to accomplish? Like, are you happy with all your choices? Because some people would say no, some people would say yes, and some people would be neutral on what, like, some of the experiences were just not right. But if you didn't go through those experiences, it wouldn't have got you where you are right now at this moment or this point. So when you realize things, like, I really want to accomplish this, and the thing that I want to accomplish is not like black and white. It takes a lot of planning and a lot of help and a lot of funding. So is it going to be worth it? And when it's worth it, are the people around me going to want to do the same thing that I want to do? Like, theoretically, let's say, like, if you want to start your own village, like, where would you start? Or you want to start your own, like, civilization? So what are you going to accomplish? Like, let's say you want to build like 5 houses. Like, on your property, you want to build 5 houses because you want to help a certain community, and you want to have a certain dynamic in your community that you want to build. So you do it. And then the city comes in and they're like, so why do you have 10 houses in your backyard? Like, I see that you're all legal, you have all the right proper paperwork, you have all the permits for all this, but what are you doing back there? Like, we got a tip off that you're doing something. Like, one of the neighbors got jealous and they went to the FBI and said, this guy, he has a community in his backyard, but I think he's growing something. Like, he's doing something suspicious. So the FBI just knocks on your door one day, and they have a whole SWAT team with them, and your whole yard is like covered with FBI agents and police officers, and you're like, what's going on? Like, oh, we got a tip off that you're growing some illegal product in the back, and the guy's like, okay, check it out. Like, I got nothing to hide. Like, walk around and see what evidence you can gather, and like, experience it. Like, walk through every house, and you can walk in my field and see what we're growing. And the FBI agent walks through. 3 hours go by, 4 hours go by, and he comes back and he apologizes and said, here's my business card. I'm so sorry for the waste of time because somebody tipped me off that you guys were growing something in your cornfields. So, okay. So they come through and they inspect everything and they find, comes up nothing. They don't have anything. So he's like, oh, I'm so sorry for the inconvenience. Here's my business card. I'm so sorry. And they leave. And then a month goes by, 2 months go by. And your same neighbor calls the FBI again and says, "There's something suspicious going on in my neighbor's yard again. I think he's doing something." So they come out again, and they they're there for 8 hours this time, and they look and they search with flashlights and drug sniffing dogs, and they're all over their property, and they're sniffing and they're doing everything, and they clean up and they leave. And the head agent is confused on, why does this person keep tipping you off on that you're doing something suspicious? And the guy's like, I don't know, maybe the guy's jealous of me, or maybe he has resentment or something, and he keeps coming up with a bogus story about we're doing something illegal. But you can look at all my permits, you can look at my farming permits, you can look at everything, it's legit. I'm just trying to help the community. I just want the people that live in my community to change. So I want to help them. So I have a rehab program, and they come through and they can stay here 6 months to a year. They just have to either fund it themselves or they have to get some government funding. Um, and then I have some programs for them to do and some exercises, and I have all this stuff for them to do. And I guess the neighbor guy's jealous, so he keeps coming up with bogus stories and calling the FBI hotline and saying, "Hey, I'm jealous of you, so let me start some rumors." And some people will do that. Like they'll go around and they'll talk to 10 different people, and every time you talk to a different person, the story tweaks. It changes a little bit, and you're like, it's like the game telephone. Like everything changes. And some people are so rooted in their jealousy that they have nothing better to do than start a bunch of bogus rumors about you and other people because they want that little bit of attention. Like if I call the FBI and I tell them that, oh, my neighbor's doing, I feel so good about myself. And you're like, dude, like you have nothing better to do than start a bunch of stupid rumors about people. And some people, they just like they just don't know what to do with themselves. They're just like, I don't like you. Okay. Some people don't like me. Big deal. Am I gonna lose sleep at night? Am I gonna like stress myself over your stupidity because you don't like me? Like it doesn't even matter. But at the end of the day, some people are gonna be jealous because you have integrity, or you have an honest work ethic, or you have a way to do something in a fashion, and they're jealous because they don't think they can accomplish that, or they don't even think they can start something like that.